Well, recently I took a look at some Amal Monobloc 389 carburetors, and the unusual 689, the mirror imaged version of the 389, and also what appears to be quite a rare 30mm Spanish made 389 monobloc, actually a 389 30. I've already discussed them in one video. So from the 389s, the monoblocks that they made varied in size from the 389s down to the 376, which we can see there's a little bit smaller than the 389, or the 389 30 that it's next to, which has the same body size as the ordinary British 389 and 689. So you've got 389, 376, and the smallest one, the 375. So there's your three sizes of monoblocks there, going from biggest to smallest as we go towards the left. Or is that really the smallest? Because hang on a minute, what have we got here? We've got a 363. Tiny little thing. Look at that next to the even the 375. And perhaps if I lay the 375 on its side like that, you'll see that even the float bowl cover, everything about that is tiny compared to the tiny 375. It turns out that what I've been able to sort of work out, or find out rather, the 363 appears to have been listed for the Triumph Tigress scooter, which was a 250 twin. So we've got this one here. This one actually seems to have a pretty restricted sort of intake or choke size there. This other one, that's not quite so complete, has got a larger intake. I would imagine for a 250 twin that this would have probably been the sort of choke size that would have been used. But basically I've got this one here which is pretty much to all intents and purposes complete, and this one here with a few things loosened off, so we can have a look. Let's see what we got, shall we? If I put the camera down here, move some of these over a little bit and make a bit of room for these two. Right, so on this one I've actually already removed the float bowl, the float chamber cover screws, so we can have a little look in there. I think it's this one, yep. And look at that, it's just like a complete miniature of your sort of more commonly seen monoblocks. Look at the size of that float. It's about the size of my fingertip. Tiny, amazing little thing, but all the same sort of layout as on the larger ones. So that's what you got in there, and a nice little miniature float chamber cover as well. And if we have a look at the other carburetor, like I say, I've loosened a few things off on that one. We should be able to see, I mean obviously we've got your mixture screw there where it would be on the larger one, throttle stop or tick over screw there. That is obviously going to be the pilot jet, but look at this here. Let's see if I got the right one. No, I haven't. Hang on a minute. That little plug is just a drain plug. This is the needle jet coming out the bottom, and you can see the end of the needle there poking out. So that's the needle jet, and like I say, you remove this little plug, just sort of opens up the other end of it, probably for draining or cleaning or whatever. So no main jet where you'd normally expect to see one. Let's just see if we can get that back in there for a moment. Probably not while we're on film. There it goes. Right, so that's the needle jet. Here is the main jet. Now this bears a similar sort of look actually to what I was showing on the Spanish 389 30. Like this little area here, which on the big Spanish Amal is not sort of threaded or drilled through or anything. It's just a blind blank hole, but that's a very similar sort of design feature to what we got here. Whoops, where the main jet screws in. So that's quite interesting. So we've got the main jet on the side there. Obviously, interestingly enough, the float chamber cover has got an integral spacer with it, unlike the larger ones that have a loose brass spacer. So that's an interesting little feature as well. And just a screw on top there, as you'd expect, to get at the throttle slide. Whoops, and there's a hell of a spring in that. And I don't know whether this slide is likely to come out. It's probably been in there for many, many years. I'll have to retrieve the top later on. Let's see, can we get this out? Can we get it out? Yeah, we can. Looking in there, everything looks fairly sort of as you'd expect. And there's the throttle slide and the needle. So, and when I spend the rest of my day looking for and hopefully finding the top off that went off like a gun, I'll be able to put that back together. But there's your 363 monobloc carburettor. What a neat little thing, isn't it? And so many sort of similarities and resemblances to the larger ones, but just scaled down in pretty much every way. So I just thought I'd dig that one out, seeing as I dug the Spanish 389 out the other day, and the rather rare 689, and show and discuss another rather rare kind of monobloc carburettor. So these two have been laying around in bits and pieces that I've got for ages actually, and I just sort of thought today that I'd dig them out and we'd have a look at them. So hopefully that might be of interest to someone at least. I found it fairly interesting and thought it might be worth sharing, so there we go, and thanks for watching.